Cloud. And we can get started. I put something at the top of the agenda because I know there's someone who's only able to be here for a couple of minutes because there was a good topic that is kind of community wide that was brought up in the data science working group meeting. And I don't anticipate we will have an answer to this right now, but just wanted to propose it to the larger community. Is that what is the proper process to propose a new repository in the CHAOSS organization that fits under an existing working group? So we're not creating like a new project, a new working group, but a new repo is needed for said group. What do you do?
I don't think there is a process. I think it's
Yeah.
been, very true to chaos form, true to chaos form, just very loose with that. So, whatever is kind of needed for people to do their what they want to do or what they're trying to accomplish. I think that being said, like, yeah, there may need to be a process.
Yeah, especially now there's going to be so much less people with admin access, and so and purposely so, the permissions are only gonna be in the hands of a few now. So this is gonna be more necessary across the board, I would assume.
Would you say this is open source process and organizational structure? Because if so, that's my favorite topic. Okay. So this is good. So I think we have a couple of issues going on the subject of like where and how to place this. Need to shape up the repo just a little bit this next week. And then we're gonna, I think, what I'm gonna do is like throw it in at that level with an issue where we go through everyone that was informed about it, everyone that said yes in the process already, tag them into it, make sure that there is a full and open process. I think Callie and I can probably have a discussion if there's anything more formal than just creating that issue and seeing through that process how we want to formalize it. But I think using this as a clear test case is good. It is interesting because this is a stage of the project where it's going to sit under a working group and it has the community of the working group. If it were to spin off into a formal project that meets on its own hours, that's actually a simpler process because we already have that in place. So for this, it's a bit of a interesting use case, single issue, and then if we need to write up documentation from that or point back to just that issue. Adrian, what do you think?
No, I was just going to add kind of some more to the Kelly's general topic about like the process. I think yeah, it sounds like I do know that I've seen in the Chaos Charter that I think for repositories, I think like DCO sign off is like a requirement across Chaos. I don't know if that's necessarily a requirement for creating a repo, but I also know that you can do like teams in GitHub, so that like you could have like a data science working group team, and then that team can just own some repos, and like if you get added to the team, you automatically get access to whatever the team has access to. So like that could be a way to like even though all the repos are still under like github.com/chaos/repo name, like you could still kind of have it like permissions sort of managed as a group. And I imagine that would be something that would fall under a lot of the like the management of that would probably be the new infrastructure committee.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Yeah. We may need to put that into place now or or
Yeah.
I think for this one, let's run it through as an issue, as a dialogue, and make sure definitely everyone that's on this like call that's engaged, get you tagged into it, and make sure that we have a clear process for that
When you say an
once the
issue, are you
infrastructure is set.
saying on the data science working group issue, or should this be something in the community, like the chaos community repository?
It should be in the community repository, most likely.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think as long as there's some sort of paper trail as to how it came about, I
Yeah.
think, yeah. And just a thing about the DCO, that is actually an LF thing, so we don't have control over that. We have to implement that. So I know it's a pain, but yeah.
It's good cybersecurity. Come on,
I mean,
y'all. Just do
that's fair.
it.
That's fair.
I'm really bad
Doing our
about
best.
it. I am. It's I Yeah. Does anybody have anything else on this specific topic before we move on?
Nope. I've got my note. We'll hand that refo off like a PR and link it on the community repository issues and get full
Okay.
feedback. Perfect. Done. Thank you all. I'm gonna go enjoy the sunshine. Farewell.
Sweet. The next thing on the agenda, just gonna mention that the Slack is continuing on and is being paid for by the LF. So love something working itself out. Sounds great to me. Um, Next is that the new infrastructure committee is being worked on the Chaos board. There was an announcement in general, if anybody would like to refer to it, that about this. So really excited to kind of see this like next step maturing the Chaos community, providing a little bit more structure, and so more to come about that. Also, the chaos elections are almost here, which is crazy. We've been talking about this for a really long time. Um, yeah, and they should come in the next day or two. And there is a PR with all of the information and a guide for candidates about the information about running yourself or nominating somebody else.
I did not put this in the minutes. I probably should. Just so you all know, there is an open office hours on Thursday where you can come in and ask any questions. So it will definitely be open by Thursday, by Thursday. And then there's also a Slack channel that's election help. So if you have questions, pop in there, or you can ask me or Emma, Erwin, or Allie. Okay.
And then what was can you put the channel in the working group in
Yeah,
the
I
doc?
will do that.
That'd be great. Great. Is there any questions about the elections?
Is there a particular like is I'm seeing the sort of part about like you need an endorsement from two eligible voters, I think, to be a candidate. Is there a particular like format or location that like should that be? Is it just like how did like would I just go and reach out to two people and then
Yeah, just point them to
include
your.
screenshots?
Um,
Like,
I think we're asking for approvals on the PR
oh,
on
like you make a
your.
PR for your
Yeah,
candidacy. Okay.
yeah. That seems to be the simplest way to kind of track that. So,
All right. If there's nothing else, I'll go to the next one. Extension of kind of the announcement that was made at the end of last week. I was just going to acknowledge that Augur is officially outside of Chaos. And there is a proposal um, for like having some type of forker of the project under Chaos. And there will be a coordinated effort to update all the documents and mentions of Augur and the Chaos documentation. And if you want more information or kind of seeing the day-to-day developments around this, please join the working group software, which is a combination of all the software working groups, which has been really cool. That came out of this meeting last week, which was really exciting. Um, and the Augur 8 Knot working group, the that channel which will be renamed. So there will be a lot to come on this. I think there's a lot of people who are involved on the has been involved in the actual project, is including myself, very excited to get back to working on the project itself, instead of all of the administrative sides around it. Um, so yeah, that's that. I don't know if somebody wants to, or Adrian, was the
Yeah.
website you? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, this was just something I was working on. I've been doing a little bit of traveling this week, but I had some time on the train just to kind of mess around with the with some of the new. As people probably know from previous meetings, I've been kind of experimenting with kind of what was talked about with hey, can we move since we're getting most of the content from the Chaos website from GitHub anyway, does it make sense to kind of try seeing if a more statically generated website would be kind of easy, like cheaper to host, easier to just kind of edit, like fewer layers of logging in and permissions and things. And we just kind of use a regular kind of GitHub pull request type workflow maybe. It's still kind of in progress, but the main update is that the site that I sort of sent a screenshot of in the WG website channel, I was able to get it on just quickly generated on GitHub pages. And so people can kind of browse around. It's very not the styling still needs to be updated to like better match the current CHAOSS website. And I think all of the content is moved over, but it's all very much not like laid out for like I still need to kind of figure out the formatting of the pages. There's a lot of work to be done. And I think there's definitely a lot of room for if anyone's interested in helping contribute, like there's a lot to happen. So I imagine that that'll probably just keep moving along, especially as people come and help. And I imagine that will also probably get adopted to some extent by the infrastructure committee.
Hi, Adrian. This is Adenka. So I noticed that this present website, we've changed the color, the palette, and can't see the logo. Is that deliberate?
No, no, that's just this was mostly just me kind of throwing stuff together. The main thing I sort of migrated out of WordPress was the content. Everything else around that is still like this isn't meant to be like a done thing. It's just a sort of a progress update and just saying, hey, like as you can see, there's a lot of things that need work on. Continuing to seek
No.
contributors. Yeah, this is very far from being final.
Okay, so where is the repo?
It is it's on CHAOSS. I think the repository is just it's the you can kind of get to the repository from the URL, but I will put the link as well. It's basically just github.com/chaos/Hugo, I think. It's a really I just basically threw together a random name just for testing. Like we can move it around, we can kind of do whatever with it. Um,
Okay, I'll
yeah,
check it out. Do we have like issues created already that someone can just pick up? I'm asking because I could then refer Chaos Africa developers to it.
not
I'll check
yet.
that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, there's not any issues yet, just because this is something I've been throwing together through various bits of like offline train time, like when I can't really work on other things. Um, so I can try and do that. I think there's still, yeah, it does still need, I think, a lot of attention from especially kind of web developers. I think eventually I do also want to maybe start to mimic more of what like the Fedora website's doing, where they have a sort of the main website repo that's the very oriented for web developers, and then there's a separate sort of content repo that's managed with a more graphical content management system that uses sort of
Okay.
Git behind the scenes so that if people want to just go and update a blog post or add a new blog post or do content only changes, though that can be done in a much more user-friendly way without having to have people go in and be deeply digging into the styles and the themes and all the things that really don't need to change from page to page. Um, so that's kind of hopefully where I hope to go with it, but I think I'm very low on available time. So if there's other developers who want to get involved, I'm happy to kind of bring people up to speed with this and maybe hand it off to someone else to sort of be responsible for or kind of help lead if people are willing to lead, like and whatever works really.
I get that. So I'm just saying that it would be easier for contributors if we can have issues,
Yeah,
so they know what to pick up. It will
definitely.
be faster that way also. All
Yeah,
right.
I can try and get some of those up.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know. That's we've kind of hit the end of the agenda, so I don't know if anybody has any other topics or anything else. Well, if there is nothing else, I think we probably can just have a short meeting for today. Don't know if there's any, just trying to, yeah, if there's anybody else who would like to volunteer for like pretty much doing what I'm doing right now, which is facilitating the meeting. Um, there's a sign up sheet on the working group minutes. It would be great for other people to start. Yeah, it's not anything crazy. You just log in and follow through the agenda. There's a facilitation guide and a sign up sheet. So that's all I got.
Easy peasy.
Sweet. Well, it was great to see everybody, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Callie.
Right. Take care.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
Thanks,
you.
Cal.